All right, well, the cutting edge for professional programmers is usually computer games. There's nothing like a game to push software code to the limit in terms of graphics, speed, interface, etc. So we thought we'd give you a glimpse into the crazy world of big-time programming with a visit to the inner sanctum of the Electronic Arts programming team.
An airplane soars, the propeller spins, and bullets spew from wing-mounted guns. The action in James World War II Fighters from Electronic Arts may look real, but it is not. It's just a mathematical model that responds to directions placed in the program's code. Of course, code is not the only factor in making a successful game.
When we start the process, we're thinking about how to make it as cool as possible, to make it as real, to make it as visually stunning as possible. In the process of implementing that, then we have to figure out how to do that and what are our limits, what's our target hardware, how fast can it go, how many polygons can we use.
Any software game calls for teamwork between programmer and artist, but programmers do have ways to simplify and accelerate action, an important advantage for smooth gameplay.
We're always trying to optimize our code so that it runs faster on the same existing machine. Basically, the more efficient that our code is, the better the frame rate of the game will be. So it'll update the screen more times per second.
The game's opening sequence features a sample battle between German tanks and Allied warplanes. In an early version, the player's viewpoint, as seen through a virtual camera, is static. In the later version, camera moves were added to create drama and suspense. Here's how it was done.
What you see is at time 0, the pitch of the camera will be rotated from 6.09 radians to 6.15 radians over 6 seconds. So that'll give us sort of this pitching effect on the camera, which sort of adds more of a dramatic flair to it. Some other big things that happen later on, I will change the camera to an outside view of the hangar at 10 seconds. So it adds a lot more of a movie feel to it. You'll get sort of a prime shot of the P-47s coming in for their bombing run right now. This is my favorite part right here. So every camera movement that you see is scripted in that file that I showed you before.
To achieve the greatest realism, game designers took actual aircraft models and copied every detail they could, from the fuselage to the cockpit gauges. And to manipulate so many parts in sequence, programmers grouped them together by hierarchy.
When we're thinking about the hierarchy of the shape of the plane, and let's say that we're writing the part of the game that involves the bullets hitting the plane. So we need to detect exactly where the bullets are hitting. We do that. We model exactly where on the plane the bullets hit, and we affect the flight model that way. So by breaking the shape into a hierarchy, we can say, well, this bullet hit the wing root here, and therefore it'll affect the flight model in this way.
James World War II Fighters was written in C++, but programmers point out that no one language is specific to games. The code uses object-oriented programming or reusable modules to lessen the number of repetitive tasks.
Let's say that you're trying to model, let's say the bullets. So you're firing a gun and we're creating thousands of bullets every minute, depending on the rate of the fire of the gun. We don't want to repeat code over and over 100 times for creating the sound effect for it. So we create one module that says create a sound for one bullet. And if that works, if we debug it and if that piece of code is stable, then we'll have no problem calling it 1,000 times.
Game designers may spend most of their time creating efficient code and realistic graphics, but they still need to keep one primary goal in mind.
Well, our holy grail is it has to be fun. I mean, if it's not fun, nobody's going to play it. And it can be gorgeous, it can be amazing, but if it's not fun to play, we're not going to have people buying it and telling other people to buy it. So we really have to make sure that that's there. And that's an elusive thing the harder you chase it.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Sarah O'Brien.